A study on the incidence of kidney cancer in 3,141 counties in the USA found that the lowest occurrence of the disease was in counties which were rural and sparsely populated, traditionally Republican, and located in the South, Midwest, and the West. You must be wondering why. Maybe it's because a rural lifestyle is stress-free with abundance of fresh air. Now let's look at the counties with the highest rate of kidney cancer. These counties were predominantly rural and sparsely populated, traditionally Republican, and located in the South, Midwest, and West. What? How can that be? Well, maybe if you don't know about the case of the lower incidence, you would think it's maybe because an urban lifestyle involves more walking and urban dwellers have a better access to healthcare. Then what really is the reason? We often tend to overlook it, which is that all these counties are sparsely populated. But how can that explain both high and low incidence of kidney cancer? This is what Daniel Kahneman in his book Thinking Fast and Slow calls the power of small numbers. In a nutshell, it means that samples with smaller sizes have a higher chance of being extreme cases. Let's look at this with an example, pulling out balls from a bag. Suppose you have a bag with a very large number of balls, which could either be red or blue, and the number of each is about the same. First, we take out 4 balls. The probability that all 4 of them are of the same color is equal to 1 by 2 raised to the power of 4 into 2, which is 1 by 8. In the second instance, let's take out 8 balls. Now the probability of all of them being the same is 1 by 2 raised to the power 8 into 2, which is 1 by 128. The probability has decreased by 16 times even though the number of balls just doubled. Now replace the different colored balls with the person having or not having kidney cancer and the number of balls being picked with the population of the county. Of course, the probability of the ball being either red or blue is no longer 1 by 2, but that doesn't really matter. Another interesting example showcasing the power of small numbers is when the Gates Foundation wanted to find out which kind of schools were the best performing so that they could invest in them. Not surprisingly, they found that the smaller schools were better performing. This led them to investing more in smaller schools and even funding the breakup of bigger ones to smaller ones. Well, had they known about the power of small numbers, they would have found out that the worst performing schools were also the smaller ones. In fact, research has shown that bigger schools are actually better for students due to higher competition and greater options with classes and more facilities. The point of all this is that sometimes things don't need to have a physical reason for them to be the way they are, even though our minds look for one. Sometimes things are the way they are because they can be.